Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Sean, the physical therapy application coach, with another awesome pre-PT success story with Miss Annika. Annika, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys? Glad to be here.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Thanks for checking in. So, Annika, you've got an awesome story, and I want you to be able to kind of dive into that and share your perspective and your insights as a student athlete. But first and foremost, just tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what's kind of led you up to this point in your journey.
Yes, so I'm from a little small town called Spring Branch, Texas, where I went to Smithson Valley, and then I ended up going to University Incarnate Word to do rehab science, and that's what I got my undergrad in. Before that, I actually was playing soccer since I was about 6, and I was going great until I got in a pretty bad car crash. Messed up my nose, my back, and everything. Took me out for about 2 months. I had to go to physical therapy, and that's really how I kind of got into it. So my therapist was awesome. Before that, I knew I wanted to do something with the human body, whether that be athletic training, personal training. I was really looking at my options, and I really didn't know much about physical therapy until I got into it and really had to do the motions to get better and back into soccer because I was out of soccer. So pursuing that, I just continued my major, and then I did a lot of observation hours to make sure that that was the right major for me, and I ended up just loving every second of it. And so that's how I kind of got into the road I am right now.
Awesome. Awesome. So, um, I think along with that, obviously, since you played soccer for so long, you were on Incarnate Word's team as well, right?
Yes, so I actually got a full ride to play soccer for them, so it was great. It was very busy, and it taught me how to manage my time very well. But I can't thank them enough for what they've taught me and how soccer has put me into the person I am today. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that's a unique perspective because we do have a lot of pre-PTs that are just, kind of your traditional student. They have tech jobs, different things like that. But talk about how you balance the crazy athlete schedule and school and working, like all these different things that you're doing. How did you do that?
yeah. So as you mentioned, I also did have a job during this time, and I also was doing observation hours at multiple different places. So definitely having a planner and planning out almost every single hour of your life. It sounds like a lot, but it is necessary, and it really keeps you on track. So for my schedule, I would wake up around 7:30, 8ish to just try to knock out some homework. By 9, I had my first class, and then 10, I had another class, and then by then I had to go to weights, and then I had soccer, and then after that I had one more class. By then I either first went to observation hours, or I went to my job where I worked at Bath and Body Works. And then as I got home, I showered, changed, made dinner, and sometimes I'd stay up as late as 1 o'clock or even 2 o'clock to finish my homework. But it definitely was a drive. So I think writing everything down and be able to check everything off one by one, that what kind of kept me on track of keeping everything done. So I think that's what the major thing is, just to keep on a schedule and don't get discouraged. If some days you don't get everything done, it's okay. Try again the next day.
Yeah. No, I think you definitely have mastered how to live intentionally,
Yeah.
with a purpose. Like you said, like every hour of the day, something meaningful is happening in your life, and what a huge advantage that's going to give you in PT school, because a lot of people are used to having a decent amount of downtime. Like I know most pre-PTs are really busy between all the different things, but man, like you've got that skill down. If anything, you're going to be like, I only have to do school now. Like,
Yeah. I hope. That's what I hope. That's really what I hope. It came down to even planning when I was going to eat and everything, because you get so busy within the day and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't ate lunch. And so
absolutely.
definitely
Yeah.
that is important to your health. So make sure you write that down in your little calendar, and make sure you get some, eat, sleep, be healthy.
Yeah, you have to, and it's kind of like it's good, but it's also sad at the same time that that's like
Yes. Yeah.
we have to schedule that because it's like
Yes.
so busy. But I mean, the fact that you were able to do it is only going to help you in the long run. And I think you also might, there's debate about this. They'll tell you in your DPT program, like, you shouldn't work while you're going to school, like just focus on full time. Like, I think it's definitely doable if you are an organized person like you are, that you could get like a job on the side to help you minimize your debt while you're in school.
Yeah,
Not a ton, like,
of course.
I don't
Yeah.
know, 5 to 10 hours a week, but
Hmm.
that extra income could be huge, to just decrease your costs. So who knows? Maybe that'll be an opportunity for
So
you.
that is definitely an option. As I said before, I worked at Bath and Body Works, which they're amazing. I get to work pretty much whenever I want. So it's awesome. They've been working with my schedule. So I'm really going to see how the first kind of semester or year goes out and see, I could really do this. I could work a little bit more, or hey, guess what? I can't work. I got to cut it off. So
Right.
they're really cool with allowing me to test out the waters out kind of and seeing this is when I can work. This is when I can't work. So
Well,
I
and the fact that because did you work there your whole time you were in college?
Yeah, so I've been working there for 6 years.
Wow. Yeah. So you've got that relationship. Thankfully, it's like a huge brand that's
Oh yeah,
so, you'll definitely have options to be able to work somewhere close to where you are. Uh,
that is what I'm hoping. Yes.
yeah, which now we got to tell everybody where you're going now. So
Oh yes.
we did all the stuff leading up to the application, and then you applied. Where did you apply, and what happened after you applied?
So this was my technically second time applying. So first I got out and I applied to UIW. I applied extremely late and probably like the last weekend to application. I just said, hey, why not? Then the second time I applied, I took it very serious, very serious. I applied about 6 places. My top choice was North Texas Health Science Center. And then I also applied. Yes, that's where I got accepted into. So I'm very proud. St. Angelo, St. Augustine, Mary Hardin Baylor, and one in Oklahoma City, just because I have some friends there and I knew. So I liked how it was. So just testing out the waters.
Absolutely.
So
So,
definitely, it did take a while.
yeah.
It did take a while to hear back from them, and it was, I'd say, I applied on the early schedule, and so I heard back around December. So it was quite a wait,
It was.
but it was all worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, let's talk about how you found me and how using physical therapy application coach was beneficial for you the second time around, as you were kind of like, I'm going to be focused and I'm going to do this right the second time.
Yes. So I was a very average student, so I had about a 3.6 GPA. My GRE scores were very average. Other than, me playing soccer and having a job, I had about 250, 300 observation hours, which I knew that was good, not bad, very average. So I knew I had to stand out in some way, and whether that be, from reference letters or my own letter, I knew that I needed help somehow, some way. So that's how I got in contact with you. And really, I found you on YouTube by just searching, where can I find this help, pretty much. So really doing your research, and thank God I found you because you were a really big help to me. And it's just getting that insight, because while this is happening, it feels like you're alone in an aspect just because you don't really know what's happening. You don't really know what you're doing. You're trying your best to figure it out. And it really is helpful to have you on hand just to say, hey, shoot him a quick email saying, how does this sound to you? How does my paper sound to you? Is this, out there? Or is this on track? Or even asking, hey, how do I work, the PTAPPCO, the application process. I mean, even with him, I asked him, how do I do this? Am I, uploading this correct? I don't want to mess this up. So it is a very stressful time, and it's good to have that, outlet of asking someone to help, because normally it's hard to find that help, because guess what? All the students like me were doing the same thing, saying, how do we do this?
Right.
So
It's not something that, hopefully you're not super experienced with the application process because you do it like one, maybe 2 times and then you get in, right?
exactly, yeah.
So I'm happy to answer those questions, especially when people who are, they're committed to the process of using the coaching system. We're going to make sure you get it right in every way.
Mhm.
Sometimes it is as simple as like, it breaks my heart when people input information incorrectly, and that is what keeps them. It's just like, oh my gosh, like just facepalm over and over again. Like, so I'm really grateful you said that. Like, asking questions is never going to hurt. Double checking is never going to hurt. And there's a lot of people who are willing to help you. I think, I don't know, during this process, like you said, you do feel kind of isolated, like nobody cares about you. It's just, it's all on you, right? Like,
Exactly.
it's right,
It
it's
feels
over.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like there's so many, even besides me, there's tons of pre-PT coaches out there that can help you and give you advice. I obviously think I'm the best because I'm biased that way.
You're pretty great. You helped me. So
But as far as that's concerned, like there's a lot of people you can ask, and they can give you feedback and resources about this is good, this is not good. And I think in particular with you, having someone as a sounding board for your essays was just huge,
it
because
was.
you have this amazing story, but being able to put it into a cohesive narrative, I think, how do you feel like we were able to do that for you? How could we help you in that way?
So being in my major, we rarely write papers. I mean, I think I wrote a paper when I was a freshman about 3 times, and that's it. So writing papers for me, I knew it wasn't my strongest aspects. I'm really good at talking. I'm really good at making connections, but putting my thoughts on paper, that's where I struggle a little bit. And so I really just went to you and was like, look, this is what I'm thinking. I have this written out. Looks like a good idea to me. Can you help me just make it more clear? And really that's what you did. You made it into my story, but really you helped me portray it to someone else.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think, and that's the process for everybody. It's not just you; it's everyone. And I think the fun part is nobody's story is exactly the same. Everybody has their own path, their own journey. Even if you had like another teammate who is going into physical therapy, right? Like you guys
Yeah,
still have a different path, as far
exactly.
as that's concerned. So I loved your story, and I also loved, we don't have a ton of time to talk about this, but like the stuff you want to do in the future with PT and like doing global outreach and helping underserved populations. Like I think that's so cool, and being able to have an opportunity. I don't know how much you've spoken with people about that,
Yes.
but being able to have an opportunity to like verbalize that and give it like a concrete idea of what that would look like. I just thought that was really exciting, and it made me like, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for you. So
No,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, yeah. Okay, well, Annika, what do you think is important for pre-PTs who are coming up in the future? What piece of advice would you give to them?
I would say start early. I mean, it is a lot of work. And to me, my first year, I thought, oh, this is going to be something easy, something I could do. I was really busy. Obviously, my schedule was crazy. And I was like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Do not put it off. Make it the first thing you do at the beginning of the year. As soon as the application opens, just give it a nice look. I'm not saying you have to, get everything done in a month. No, I'm saying give it a nice look. Prepare, plan out what you have to do. If you need to take the GRE again, take the GRE again. Be prepared for that though. Don't go up and apply saying, oh man, I really should have took the GRE again. So really, really, and I would say be honest with yourself, because that was me too. My first year, I mean, I knew I was kind of going into it half swinging, and that's what really got me determined the second year. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm being honest with myself. I'm a very average student. I need to stand out and I need help. And therefore, that's how I got you. You know, you helped me out and tremendously. I can't thank you enough for it. So be honest with yourself. If you have a low GPA, you have to get a high GRE. If you have a low GRE, you have to get a high GPA. And observation hours. I know it's very hard to do that right now. So any chance you get just to, go stand next to a PT and write it down is awesome. Awesome. You
Oh,
know.
good. You're in a store. Are you a PT?
Yeah.
My observation hours are standing.
Yeah.
It feels
Exactly.
like that for some people, but yeah, no, thank you for that. I think that'll be helpful for people. I don't know how many people have said, in a different way, as the similar concept of start early, hold
Yeah.
yourself accountable, do something consistently every day, right? Like apply with intention. You need to have a
Exactly.
purpose behind it. You need to have all your dates lined up so you can get things in appropriately. And I think that's great. Like we could literally ring that cowbell till they all come home, right? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it's just one of those things. Like it's human nature to procrastinate and to put things off. So hopefully someone will listen to this and say, you know what? maybe they feel like they're kind of a middle of the road applicant, and being able to find a way to stand out by planning things out and getting your ducks in a row, then
Mhm.
that can make a difference for them. So
Exactly,
um,
yeah.
thank you so much for taking the time. Enjoy going up to UNT Health Science,
Thank you so much.
we'll have to do a follow-up and see how everything's going.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully, I'm still alive by then. No, I'm just kidding.
I think
So
you're going to be doing great. You to focus for the first time in your life. You get to focus on like one thing.
exactly, and I'm, praying that this will be a little bit easier for me. Obviously, it's still PT school, so I'm not expecting anything easy, but
Right.
at least I'll have the time to really focus on one thing.
Right. I think it's not that it's easy, but your attention is less spread out. Right.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you get to focus on one really difficult thing as opposed to 15 kind of difficult things. Right.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks, Annika. Take care. Please let us know if you need any help with anything as you're going into your first semester. Don't forget to check out those resources on Teachable about like transitioning from a pre-PT to an SPT. A lot of those things we've talked about, but there's a ton of helpful stuff in there. And don't forget to take a look at that stuff.
All right, will do.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.